Good, very early morning to everybody. How are you all? I have been exhausted lately. These last few days have been really rough. Today is no different, but we must push through. The energies are really hitting me hard. All these shifts we have, a lot of planetary stuff happening. You can see it trickling down around us. I personally experience a lot in my day-to-day life lately. People that are just triggered by the sometimes completely imaginary things. It's I don't know. It's weird. We have a lady down the street that calls the police on the kids every time they have a lemonade stand. 7 times now. It's a lemonade stand. And police say they're doing nothing wrong. So just throwing that out there. Be driving and people get angry. We had a guy that was in front of us, just rolled down his window, passenger rolled down his window and gave us the middle finger. I'm like, what? My kids were very confused. Said, some people are just having so many feels that they don't know how to cycle through the feels right now. And you just have to take a deep breath and let it go and say, not my energy to have to deal with. So, I started pulling cards for this reading. There was so much wanting to come through before I even pulled the cards that I made sure to extra ground myself because it's difficult to decipher what is coming through, if that makes sense. And then as I'm pulling cards, it became even more so. Like there's so much coming out that I didn't want to wait until after I had pulled cards to give the message, because there's a little one word here and phrase there that that come through, and I don't want to lose those. You can kind of see in there just like a small gist of what I have going on, and that's not even all of it. So the energy coming through this morning, the most strong, was of many shifts that were coming in and how this can feel overwhelming. Remembering to stay grounded in the earth, in our bodies, in our hearts, will allow us to help navigate which paths, choices we should be taking that will, lead us to that place that is most fulfilling for us. Our heart is home. That's where the saying, home is where the heart is. It's not about the state you're in or who you're with or the house you're in. So much as it is the environment and the people that you're with a vibrational match for what is truly in your soul. And that's when you feel the most alive. That's when we are home. So maintaining that through this energy is going to be very important. There were small blips coming through about how, as our authentic truth comes out, we often have almost feeling like we have to defend ourselves, thoughts, our own thoughts, our choices. And just remembering that, we're co-creating our reality, and that it is more important for us to co-create our reality that we are choosing to live, that is authentic for us, than it is to make other people comfortable with the fact that we are understanding that we are co-creating our reality, right? We're not letting life happen to us. We are creating our lives. So for a large amount of people, there is this true understanding coming through that we don't need to let life control us anymore. Okay. And that our choices are what gets us where we end up. The conversations that we have with people sets the tone for the vibrational alignment that we are putting ourselves in. Pay attention when you're communicating with people. When do you allow your vibration to drop? Who are you with and what are you speaking about when you choose to say things that right after you say it, you're like, why did I say that? Why did I let myself go to that place? Like, that's not who I am anymore, or that's not what I want to participate in. Being consciously aware of those things and shifting out of that back into a place that is more aligned with your heart, with your hopes, with your dreams, with what you do want to be around, focusing on what you do want as opposed to what you don't want. But also taking those moments where we have slipped and having gratitude and saying, okay, I thank you, me, situation, experience, for showing me what it is that I don't want. And now I'm releasing that and I'm refocusing my energy back into what I do want to exist in. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So what first came out in the cards was a lot of cycles ending. 10 in the tarot is a cycle being at an end point, right? It's the end, going into something new. So out of the four suits, wands, swords, cups, and pentacles, the first four cards that came out were all nines. The first three, rather. And it was the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Swords. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of cycles that are coming to an end. So this is really kind of when we get in the thick of it, right? And it feels overwhelming at times to have so many shifts that are coming in. These are emotional shifts, these are mental shifts, these are physical shifts. The only thing that's not here is the wands, which, is a lot of spiritually fueled passion. It's kind of like a divine guidance for me. So these are all a lot in our humanness. This is a lot of coming to terms with where we have been unfulfilled, when it comes to our way of thinking, when it comes to how we're feeling, when it comes to what we have built around us. Where have we felt like things are just kind of flat, where it's fallen short from what we have wanted? And there's this point now where we are starting to realize, as I said before, that we're co-creating. Right after those cards, we have the Magician. The Magician knows that he is always, she is always creating their reality. They're co-creating with the universe, with the energies around them. Their thoughts become actions, and their actions become things. They have it all within them. It's not an outside source. It's not that life is happening to them. It's not that this person did this, so that's why this happened. It is taking accountability and saying, I know that I can change this, and I know what I'm capable of, and now I'm going to go do that. So we have this Magician who's looking over at the next possibility. I can stay in these cards that have been very lackluster for me, or, as it's shown in the cards, he's turning his head away from those. And he's looking over at this new possibility, which he understands means burning down, metaphorically speaking, what has been created. Choosing to let go what has been so that something new can come. So in this particular deck, it's a tree that a lightning bolt is striking. So lightning comes from the heavens. It's allowing the energies around us, God, source, the creator, to remove from our existence what is not serving us. So as the tree burns, it's not for nothing, right? That ash provides nutrients so that things that are on the forest floor that are newly beneficial for the environment can grow, right? So it's taking those lessons that we have that we've accumulated from what we've experienced and really putting those into what have we kind of kept below the surface. When we really sit in our quiet, and I talk about that very often, when we sit in those quiet moments, it's when we can really let come up to the surface. What is it that I really am desiring inside? What is it that that I want to go do, that I want to create? Where do I want to go? What are the things that I want to say that I haven't been saying? So also in this deck, then, the moon is two trees with the moon behind it. And coming right after the tower, so we have, see if I can show you this. It comes out for you, it would be this way, right? It will go like this for you. Okay, so the Magician is looking over at this tree and allowing source to burn this tree down. And what comes from that is two trees, right? It's like more abundance, it's more grounding, it's more possibility. You can create more from 2 trees than you can from one. So then imagine, if you can, that the other side is where you have all of these lessons. And I can see that this little cheetah magician is looking the other way. And he's like, I can see the purpose in allowing that to happen. You know, it's like a very willful, thought out, decisive energy that we have the opportunity to step inside of. The King of Swords is what came over the magician. King of Swords, 4 of Wands, 2 of Swords. So it's having, you know, you think of like that kind of like more cliche king where he just does what needs to be done, right? This is my kingdom, this is my domain, this is my castle, and these are the decisions that I'm making. And people just listen because the king said so. So this is what happens now. And then all of the little townsfolk and his little dudes that work inside of the castle with him are like, okay, the king said so, so that's what we're going to do. So the magician understands he's the King of Swords in his reality. And when he says, you know, 2 of Swords, I'm making a decision, 4 of Wands, for my basis of my reality, for what I'm going to create from here, for my foundation, this is what's going to happen. And it's like all of the universal help around you is all of the little villagers and all of the little king's dudes. And says, okay, we're going to do what needs to be done to make that happen. You say it, you will it, and it will be done. So then we see that we have this opportunity then to begin to make decisions from all of the options that were ahead of us and really kind of do away with what hasn't been super fulfilling, right? So that makes sense. So then we had this much more confusing energy come out, right? This almost felt like if we were to be more specific about someone's situation, I feel like there's 2 energies at play here. And I feel like, you know, again, we have the Ace of Swords that's come out 3 times throughout the decks in this reading. So there's definitely truths that are coming in, you know, and it's soul truths. It's divine. This isn't our ego saying, I know this and that is so, which is very easy to fall into where, you know, Sagittarius season, Sagittarius is all about, I know. But the shadow aspect of that, the ego really coming in saying, I know, and therefore it is, and there is no room to shift and grow and change that belief. And that is where we have to be cautious because we are ever expanding. We are always learning. And what we believe today is not what we're going to believe tomorrow or in 5 years. So keeping that in mind through all of this is also crazy important right now. This, however, is like a divine truth that is coming in. And it feels like there is like these energies or this person. I'm just going to say a person. There's a person that is around that is watching as these shifts start to happen. You know, it's as we're at the top of the wheel and we're deciding which way this wheel is going to turn for us. This person is watching, and there's this this air of it's like defending ourselves for what we know is right for us. And I just feel like it's this energy, this person that it's almost like we're being told don't pay any mind to it. It's like a jealous energy almost, you know, where this person has their own like their own secret hopes and desires, and they feel like I can't have mine so you can't have yours type of a thing, you know? And it's kind of this this like reminder to say, be the cheetah, look the other direction, right? We're not looking back at what was. And if there's people that are going to have a jealous energy and try to pull you back to that or make you feel like what it is that you're wanting to create can't be, then they're also in the past. We're looking this way. All right. So then we start doing the work, you know, very magician style. 8 of Pentacles is like the, you know, it's the lesser arcana for the magician. We're starting to create for ourselves. You know, in particular in this deck, she's working very much with the elements. She's got the fire there. She's got the earth, and she's got, you know, she's working with the moon phases. And it's a very, I love this card. It's like a very knowing kind of creating. It's not going out there and just kind of, I'm going to put this here and see if that works, and put that there and see if that works, and dabble in this and whatever. um, it's a very intentional type of energy of working, and out of that comes our Ace of Pentacles. So it's a real grounded opportunity that comes from deep within, right, from the moon. It's the things that we keep under the surface. It's what our hopes and our feelings, our thoughts, our desires have been, that we've kind of kept to ourselves. And there's a lot of those that are super important to us, that it's almost necessary to keep to ourselves, or only share with those few select people that we know are going to support us. Because people inadvertently, it's like they throw an energy block at the things that we want to have happen. Just as much as you can manifest something, if somebody else has a very strong desire to thwart that, whether they realize it consciously or not, it's my belief energetically that they have the ability to throw out these little daggers, hexes, like people like to say. It's like spell work, um, that if, in particular in jealousy, it's a very strong energy, and when somebody is jealous of something that you're creating for themselves, they have the ability to throw energies your way to kind of create discord and remove harmony and flow from what it is that you're creating, and just make it more difficult than it needs to be. So it's important to kind of protect our little seeds, right? He's holding his seed very lovingly in his hand, like, no one's going to take this. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. We protect it and we nurture it, and we're keeping it to ourselves until it grows these two big, beautiful trees that we don't have to hide anymore. They're so strong that they can stand on their own, and they're so hugely tall that everybody can see it. I really think that that's a good gist. It's a good round out of it. Um, remembering to create from a grounded place, holding with us our lessons that we've learned, but knowing that we don't need to continue carrying the teaching with us, right? We have completed the lesson. We're at the point now where we can pass the test and we move on to something new. We're protecting ourselves, we're protecting our energy, we're protecting what it is that we are creating, and we are turning our head from the things that would lead us back into what has been. This is a big season of shifts. There's so much coming in that is creating so much opportunity for us if we allow ourselves to step into it. You have free will. You could stay in the same cycles that you've been in, and you can keep doing it the way you have been. And if that makes you happy, then by all means. But if there's even a small part of you that has wanted to change and shift something, this is a really big time for that to begin. So it's setting our little seeds, it's writing down our intentions, it's giving ourselves that quiet time in the bath to really sit and be, or to lay in the quiet in bed for 20 minutes before we're actually going to fall asleep, and put on nice soft music and just let ourselves go into our feelings. If thoughts come in about what you have to do, seeing it and thanking it for being there, and then releasing it, and then getting back to what is in my heart. What messages does my soul want to bring up? Um, you know, Communicating with our guides, and really, where is it that my soul wants to lead me, and help guide me there. Give me signs, let me know, and I will follow. A lot of my signs come from my feelings. So in the beginning, it was a lot of me asking my guides, show me what it will feel like when I'm in alignment with where my soul is intending me to be. And I would really ground myself into that feeling that would come in. It's like I could pull it in with a breath, and I could feel the difference in that feeling. Really grounding that in to remember what this feels like. And then when those opportunities would arise and that feeling would trigger, I would know this is a way that is for me. I'm following this. And eventually you just start to realize that it's, those moments, those people, those experiences, those environments, those places, those ideas that, like I say all the time, it lights your heart on fire. It creates a spark. Your heart grows. It doesn't dampen. It doesn't wither away. Those are the important places for us to follow and to stay in alignment with. And then we're not led astray. Our soul's not leading us astray. Okay, I hope this finds you all well. I'm going camping with the children this weekend, so I will try and do readings, but we're going to be on an island in the middle of nowhere, really. It's not really nowhere, but it's nowhere. I don't know how cell reception will be, so I don't know if I'll be able to upload videos, but I will try. If I don't see you all, I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope we all get more sleep. I am just, can you tell how tired I am? I'm so tired. I really want to go snuggle back in bed with the little kiddos that are in there, but I have so much work I have to go do before we leave, so I will keep on keeping on. As my mug says, I will make it happen. It's all backwards for you guys. I'm sorry. I have to see my face in my phone or I won't know where to look and talk, and it just feels much more weird. All right. I love you all. Have an amazing weekend. I hope this week has been incredible. Stay par for the course in your heart that is home. I love you all.